as the world outside fades far behind the closed door, let us find our way back to a peaceful haven within our thoughts. There are times when our souls are like the open sea, far offshore, carrying both turbulent waves and the undercurrents of unnamed desires. But you know, no matter how deep the ocean is, the surface eventually finds its way back to stillness when the moon rises. Letting go is not losing. It is to leave your hands empty, ready to embrace the most precious things waiting for you at home. Let your breath harmonize with the rhythm of the waves, slow and gentle, as we begin the journey back to ourselves. Now, before we truly step into the space of the Wind Chime Inn, I want you to take a moment to thank yourself. Thank you because after a long day with so many worries, you have chosen to stop here, giving your soul a necessary moment of silence. If you feel these stories bring you comfort, please press the subscribe button and share with me in the comments. Your presence is a part of our channel's warmth. Now, start by finding the most comfortable position. It could be lying on your back, hands placed gently along your body, or any position where you feel your spine stretching in the most natural way. Feel the mattress beneath you. It is supporting you unconditionally. You no longer need to hold any pressure on your shoulders. Relax your shoulders. Imagine those shoulders are melting away, sinking deeper into the soft fabric of the bed sheets. We begin by taking a deep breath in through the nose. Feel the cool air passing through the nostrils, filling the chest and down to the abdomen. Hold it there for a short beat. 1, 2, and slowly exhale through the mouth. As you exhale, imagine all the stresses of the day, the unfinished thoughts, the plans for tomorrow, all turning into a thin smoke and drifting away. Repeat this once more. Breathe in peace and breathe out every burden. With each breath out, your body becomes a little heavier, sinking deeper into relaxation. Do you feel the warmth from your feet? Direct your attention down to your toes. Relax them. Feel the relaxation spreading from the soles of the feet to the ankles, then the calf. Your legs have traveled a long way today, and now you deserve to rest completely. Continue. Let this relaxation spread up to the thighs, the hips. You feel as light as a leaf, floating on still water. There is nothing that needs to be done right now. There is nowhere you need to go. This world is left only with you and the gentle sound of silence. Now, pay attention to the hands. Relax the fingers. The hands that have always been grasping, always controlling, always striving. Now let them open naturally. Feel the warm palms. This warmth gradually spreads to the arms, the biceps, and back to the neck area. Your neck and jaw are often where the most tension accumulates without you realizing it. Loosen the jaw. Let the tongue detach from the upper roof of the mouth. Let the muscles around the eyes and forehead stretch completely. Your eyes are now closing gently without any pressure. Behind those eyes is a vast, quiet, and pleasantly dark space. Imagine you are standing before a sparse forest right by the coast. The air here is very special. It has not only the scent of plants, but also the salty, pure taste of the ocean. A light breeze brushes over the skin, bringing the coolness of the water and the remaining warmth of the ground after a sunny day. Take a deep breath. The scent of the sea has the ability to wash away all the dust in the soul. It weaves into every cell, soothing the cracks, softening the rough edges of emotion. In this peaceful darkness, you begin to hear the waves, not roaring waves, but a steady rustle, like the whisper of Mother Nature. Waves coming, then waves going, waves coming, then going again. That rhythm is truly hypnotic. It reminds you that everything in this life is cyclical. Joy comes and goes, sadness comes, then also fades away, and temptation is the same. It can come as brilliant as a lightning flash, but if we know how to stand still in our own silence, it will pass by like a strange wind. You find yourself walking on a soft carpet of grass. Each of your steps is very gentle, without making a sound. You are moving gradually toward the flickering light from a small wooden house located right at the water's edge. That is the Wind Chime Inn, where our story is about to begin. But before entering, promise me that you will leave everything that does not belong to peace outside that door. Leave behind the doubts, the regrets, and the burning desires that are consuming your heart. Only you, in the purest form, enter this space. You feel absolutely safe. No one judges you here. No one asks you to be anyone other than yourself. You have the right to be weak. You have the right to be wrong. And most importantly, you have the right to find the way to return. The warmth from the paper lanterns begins to spread to where you stand. A gentle amber color, not dazzling, creates a cozy feeling as if you are being embraced by familiar arms. The wind chimes begin to ring clearly, purely, as if they are filtering the air around you. Take 3 more very slow breaths. First breath, breathe in compassion for yourself. Second breath, breathe in the strength to let go of things that do not belong to you. Third breath, breathe in serenity to welcome sleep. At this moment, your body is completely ready. Your mind is quiet enough to listen. You are no longer a lonely individual in the middle of a stormy life, but you are a part of the vast ocean, the quiet moonlight, and the magical space. At the Wind Chime Inn, everything is ready. Let me lead you deeper into that space, where the secrets of the heart will be decoded under the silver moonlight. Keep maintaining that steady breath. Close your eyes and feel my presence right beside you. Let us begin to enter the Wind Chime Inn. The wooden door of the Wind Chime Inn opens slightly with a dry creak, but brings a strangely familiar feeling. When you step through that threshold, the noisy world of calculations, brilliant temptations, and heavy pressures out there seems to be blocked by an invisible curtain. The space inside the inn is not wide, but it is deep enough to hold all the thoughts of lost travelers. The first scent that touches your sense of smell is the aged ebony wood, a contemplative, steady kind of scent mixed with warm ginger oil, and the characteristic saltiness of the offshore sea mist. The light here does not come from bright electric bulbs, but is the convergence of dozens of handmade paper lanterns hanging from the ceiling. Those lanterns carry an amber yellow color, emitting a light as soft as silk, flickering slightly whenever a sea breeze enters through the door cracks. That light does not clearly illuminate every corner, but it covers everything with a hazy layer, helping to hide the marks of time on objects, and also the marks of fatigue on human faces. You gently approach the worn ebony bar. The wood surface is glossy, carrying the coldness of the night, but giving us a sense of security when touched under your feet. The thick wooden floorboards occasionally emit a soft sound, harmonizing with the rustling waves right under the floor. The inn is built on steady wooden stilts at the water's edge, so every time the tide rises, you can feel the gentle vibration of the ocean right under your feet. It is a floating but not precarious feeling, as if you are being embraced and cherished by the ocean. In the corner of the inn, I is standing there. He is not like an ordinary innkeeper, but like a guardian for stillness. His ash-gray linen apron has natural folds, and his hands are slowly wiping the thin glass cups. His movements are so deliberate that they make the observer naturally slow down their own pace of life. Kai's eyes carry the compassion of someone who has witnessed too many partings and reunions, too many abandonments and beginnings. On the ceiling and along the deserted porch, hundreds of glass wind chimes, full sizes, are hanging. They do not stand still. When the sea breeze rushes in, they collide with each other, creating clear, ringing sequences of sound as pure as breaking crystal. but as soothing as a lullaby. Each chime sounds like an invisible broom, sweeping away the tangles in your mind. You sit down on the high wooden chair, feeling the cool air of the sea mist creeping through your clothes. But immediately, the warmth from the small stove in the corner of the inn spreads, creating a perfect balance of temperature. The space is designed so that you cannot be in a hurry. The clocks here have no second hands, only a slow ticking sound blending with the waves. Here, time is not measured in minutes or hours. It is measured in deep breaths and sips of tea. You look out through the large window toward the sea. Tonight, the sea mist covers the water with a thin veil, making the horizon blurred. The moonlight above is no longer too bright, but becomes gentle, reflecting on the sparkling sea surface like millions of floating silver pieces. It is this context, the intersection between land and ocean, between the warm lantern light and the coldness of the night mist. That is the only place where Marcus, and perhaps you too, can most truly face your heart. You can see Marcus sitting there, motionless like a statue, in total contrast to the mobility of the tiny sparkling sand grains on the wooden floor. Those sand grains, they were brought in from the ocean by the wind, lying peacefully in the wood cracks, reminding us that no matter how hard we try to keep the soul pure, the aftertastes of the world will still find a way to creep in. Inhale the thick air of sea salt and ginger. Let the glass wind chimes lead your imagination further, leaving the current bedroom to truly sit beside Marcus at the Wind Chime Inn. Do you hear the waves? Do you see the warmth from the steaming amber teacup in front of you? Everything here is real as the pain or the internal conflict you are carrying in your heart. In this space, the temptation out there suddenly becomes small and distant. It is like a brilliant campfire, gradually dying out in the vastness of the night sea. Only the stillness here is eternal. Only the moonlight is honest, and only Kai, with a kind smile, is the one ready to listen without judgment. You are in a space where letting go is no longer a scary concept, but it is as natural as breathing, as necessary as sleep. Relax your entire face. Let yourself sink deep into this context. We are no longer observers from afar, but have truly become a part of the Wind Chime Inn tonight. When the waves out there beat against the boat's side, that is also when your soul begins to open its heart to receive the story about Marcus, about Sophia, and about a choice that can change a whole life. Let this space envelop you, warm you, and lead you into the deepest part of your heart. The light from the handmade paper lanterns in the Wind Chime Inn flickers slightly, casting long, shimmering shadows on the ebony table worn by time. Marcus sits there, his hands clenched together so tightly that The knuckles are white, showing the pale blue veins under the thin skin. He does not look at the sea, where the waves are beating steadily against the wooden pillars, nor does he look at the steaming amber teacup that Kai has just placed down. His eyes are fixed on a vague point on the wooden floor where tiny sparkling sand grains, like stardust accidentally blown in by the sea breeze, are stuck in the cracks of time. Kai wipes his hands on the linen apron, his movements slow and deliberate, as if he has all the time in the world. He does not rush Marcus to speak. In this space, silence is also a kind of language, a kind of healing medicine. Finally, Kai speaks, his voice deep and warm, blending perfectly with the rustling waves under the floor. Tonight, sea mist blurs the surface of the sea, but it seems your mind is even blurrier than the mist out there. Marcus, you are carrying the heat of a fire that does not belong to you. That fire is burning you from within, making you unable to see the gentle moonlight that is lighting the way. Marcus looked up, his eyes bloodshot and heavy with the exhaustion of long nights spent in internal conflict. He took a deep breath. The briny scent of sea salt, mingled with the warm ginger from his tea, helped him regain a sliver of composure, soothing the parched sensation in his throat. Kai, I am standing before an abyss. Marcus began, his voice hoarse. Sophia, she is as radiant as a burning sunset over the desert by her side. I feel like a conqueror. I forget the age of 35 laying on my shoulders. I forget the bills, the tedious daily responsibilities, and the weary sighs when returning home after a grueling day of work. She is so hot, so passionate, that I am willing to trade everything just to hold on to that warmth. She makes me feel alive again, still capable of desire, instead of just being a gear in a massive social machine. He paused, his voice choking up, his shoulders trembling slightly beneath his thin coat. Memories of Sophia flashed by like a slow-motion film. The crystalline laughter, the heady scent of perfume, and the way she looked at him as if he were the only man in the world. But last night, as I was preparing to meet her, I passed an old, dilapidated bus stop at the edge of town, under the pale, hazy yellow street lights, with a passing sun shower. Having just moved through, I saw a young woman sitting on a wooden bench. She was clutching her small child tightly to her chest to shield them from the cold night mist. The child was fast asleep, their face incredibly peaceful. One hand gripped the mother's hand, an unconscious grasp, yet full of trust, as if that mother were the entire world, the only pillar I had in this life. Marcus bowed his head, a single tear inadvertently falling onto the ebony tabletop. That image, it looked exactly like my wife and son at home. In that moment, I saw myself as small and cruel. I am warming myself with a strange fire, a wild flame out there, while my own hands are silently pulling away each brick of the home I spent 10 years building with sweat and tears. That child's trust, it was too pure, Kai. It made my longing for Sophia feel filthy and guilt-ridden. I realized that the warmth I have been chasing is actually the most brutal betrayal of those who love me most. Kai did not interrupt. He stepped closer to the porch, where the glass wind chimes were softly ringing in an elegant rhythm as a sea breeze drifted in. He pointed toward the silver moon, reflecting on the shimmering water, creating a path of light stretching to the horizon. Marcus, look at that moon. It is beautiful, but it is only a reflection. Sophia's heat is like the daytime sun. It dazzles you and makes you yearn, but it can also burn you to ashes if you do not know where to stop. That light is brilliant but fleeting, often leaving deep burns after it sets. But your family, they are like the moon tonight, silent, not loud, not demanding constant attention, yet always there to light your way home when the seas are rough. The moonlight does not scorch, it heals. Kai picked up a transparent glass wind chime, holding it up against the moon. Silver rays pierced through the glass, creating shimmering bands of color across Marcus's face, blurring the wrinkles of anxiety. True freedom is not doing everything you want, nor is it indulging every desire that rises in your heart. It is having the strength to refuse the things that will destroy you. Do you love Sophia's heat? Or do you love the illusion of being someone else when you are with her? A man with no burdens, no past. That child at the bus stop is not just someone's offspring. It is the embodiment of the last shred of kindness in your heart. It appeared exactly as you were about to step into the abyss to remind you that you are a father and a husband before you are a greedy man. Marcus closed his eyes. In the darkness of his mind, he saw the image of Sophia gradually fading like cigarette smoke, vanishing into a void. In its place, he saw the warm bedroom at home, where his wife was tossing and turning while waiting at the door. The pale yellow night light still illuminating a corner of the room. He saw his son clutching an old teddy bear, a faint smile on his lips. In a dream, another hot tear rolled down the 35-year-old man's cheek. but this time he carried not only regret, but also a sense of cleansing. I am afraid, Kai. I am afraid that if I let go, I will lose that brilliance forever. I fear my life will return to the gray shades of responsibility and monotony. Kai smiled, a smile as vast and forgiving as the sea. Let go so you can grasp things far more precious, Marcus. The brilliance you speak of is merely the flashy shell of an empty heart. True brilliance lies in the trusting eyes of your son, in the peaceful hand-holding of your wife as you both grow old. The sea waves tonight are strong, but they always know to turn back when they touch the sand. The shore is where they belong. Let this wind chime wash away the aftertaste of that sinful affair. You do not need to be a great conqueror out there to prove yourself. Tonight, you only need to be a brave man who dares to turn his back on temptation, to return to those who truly need you. That courage is greater than any conquest. Kai gently pushed the tea toward Marcus, the warmth spreading across the ebony table. Drink this tea. The spice of the ginger will help you stay sharp enough to realize what is real and what is an illusion. The sweetness of the honey will soothe the heart wounds you inflicted upon yourself. When you step out of this door, leave Sophia here along with these sea waves and this wind chime. Do not take her home. Do not bring the heat of a desert fire into a house that has the cool moonlight. Your home is where the lights are still burning for you, not that wild flame out there. Marcus held the tea with both hands, the warmth traveling from his palms to his heart. He took a deep sip. The pungent spice of the ginger jolted him awake, and the honey's sweet aftertaste calmed the bitterness within. A true warmth began to spread through his body, not the feverish heat of lust that muddles the mind, but the warmth of a soul that has just found its way back. After a journey lost in the deep woods, he stood up, adjusted his collar, and looked at Kai one last time, as if to say thank you without words. Kai only gave a slight nod, his eyes glowing with faith. Marcus stepped out onto the porch. His footsteps on the wooden floor sounded steady and certain, no longer possessing the hesitation he had upon arrival. He stepped down onto the sand, feeling the smoothness and coolness of the night sea beneath his feet. He headed straight toward the trail, leading back to town, where the moon was spreading a silver carpet to guide him, illuminating each of his footsteps. The glass wind chimes behind him suddenly ran out in a long, pure, and weightless sequence, as if singing a song to bid farewell to a sorrow and welcome a rebirth. Marcus did not look back. He knew that behind him was the forgiving ocean cradling him. the moon still patiently shining, and at the end of that road, a home with true warmth was waiting for him to open the door and start anew. He walked, each step an act of letting go, each breath a return. His soul was now as light as the sea breeze, ready for sleep, no longer haunted by fever dreams, asleep in the serenity of a man who has chosen the right path to belong. Happiness, it turns out, is not about chasing the most brilliant things, but about cherishing the most enduring ones. Marcus smiled under the moonlight, and for the first time in months, he felt his heart as peaceful as a sea without a ripple. Marcus's footsteps on the fine sand gradually faded into the distance, leaving behind a space of pure silence inside the Wind Chime Inn. By now, his figure was merely a hazy black silhouette, blending into the silver moonlight at the end of the trail. Inside the inn, Kai slowly cleared the empty teacup. The warmth of ginger and honey still lingered somewhere in the air, like the final testament of an internal struggle that had just closed. You sit there, feeling the magical intersection between reality and illusion, between Marcus's story and the peace of your own soul. Everything begins to dissolve. The silhouette of Sophia, the blazing desert fire Marcus once craved, is now only a thin wisp of smoke blown away by the sea breeze, vanishing into the void. The feelings of guilt, the conflict, and the fear you just felt through each word of the story are also gradually settling like fine sand grains drifting toward the ocean after the wave recedes. The space around you becomes weightless. The paper lanterns sway gently. Their amber light seems to fade, giving way to the dominance of the pure moonlight, flooding the room. You feel as though you are no longer sitting on the ebony chair. Your body feels as if it is floating between the silence of the black night and the forgiveness of the sea. The glass wind chimes no longer ring out sharply to awaken. Instead, they begin to hum slow, steady rhythms like a wordless lullaby from the ocean. Those sounds are no longer separate. They blend into the rustling of the waves beneath the floor, forming a symphony of letting go. This intersection brings a sense of absolute safety. You realize that all the temptations or pressures in this world are, in the end, only temporary rough waves on the sea of life. When night falls, when the moon rises, everything must find its way back to its inherent stillness. You take a deep breath, feeling the last taste of sea salt lingering on your lips, then slowly exhale, letting all your final thoughts vanish into the air. The moon outside no longer just illuminates the sea. It is now shining into the darkest corners of your mind. This clarity does not bring pain, it only brings relief. You see yourself as a small boat after many days tossing in the storms of desire, having finally found a peaceful harbor, that boat no longer needs to set sail in pursuit of the flickering fires on the horizon. It only needs to lie still, letting the moon cover it in a layer of soft silver silk. Each of your breaths now becomes longer, deeper. Each rise and fall of your chest is a moment you feel the connection between yourself and the universe, or tighter, the real world, with its worries, its people, its responsibilities, is receding very far, as faint as reflections on rippling water. Only the presence of peace remains here. The Wind Chime Inn, Kai, and even Marcus's Moonlit path, all are gradually transforming into beautiful dreams, ready to accompany you into the eternity of sleep. Let this dissolution happen naturally. Do not try to hold on to any image. Let your mind be like a blank sheet of paper where the moonlight can freely draw the lines of serenity. You are sinking into a space without gravity, where the individual self melts into the collective us of the vast ocean. The letting go is complete. Your soul is truly empty and clean, ready to be filled with wholesome dreams and rebirth after a long night's rest. Now, the space of the Wind Chime Inn has completely receded, leaving only absolute silence enveloping your mind. You are lying in a cocoon of peace, where the silver moonlight weaves through every crack of consciousness, cradling every cell of your body. Feel the heavy, restful weight of your eyelids. They no longer wish to open. The darkness before your eyes is not emptiness, but a tranquil ocean where every wave of thought has found the shore of rest. In the life of every man, sometimes the greatest courage is not conquering new heights or chasing brilliant fires along the road, but having the courage to turn your back on temptation, to protect the small lamp waiting for you at home. You have listened, you have understood, and now your soul has also chosen the way back. Happiness is like the moonlight on the night sea, silent, cool, and enduring. It does not dazzle us like the sun, or scorch us like the fire of lust, but it is the only light that never abandons us. When the storm comes, let your breath find its own most natural rhythm. Breathe in purity, breathe out relief, letting go of someone who does not belong to you is not losing the love, but returning freedom to the soul and dignity to those you love most. When you dare to let go of an illusion, only then are your hands empty enough to grasp true values. Tonight, if you are also carrying a conflict in your heart, let the wind chimes of our aim carry it far away into the depths of the ocean, where the water's pressure will crush every sorrow into dust. You are sinking deeper into the soft cushions. It feels as if your body is melting, becoming one with the air with the darkness, with the stillness of all things. No more Marcus, no more Sophia, no more difficult choices. There is only the pure presence of a soul being healed. Every crack can be mended, and every lost wave can find its way back to the peaceful ocean. You deserve a good night's sleep, with a serene heart and a mind as clear as spring water. Remember that each tomorrow morning is an opportunity to be reborn, to start again with untarnished promises. But before that, you must pass through this gateway of sleep. Let the moonlight guard your dreams. Let the rustling of the sea become an eternal lullaby. You are safe, you are loved, and you are completely free in the world of wholesome dreams. Before you sink completely into deep sleep, I want to send a sincere thank you for trusting me to accompany you on this journey of letting go tonight. If this story has made your heart lighter, remember to return tomorrow night. Your interaction, the likes, or the comments sharing your feelings are the motivation for the Wind Chime Inn to always remain wide open for you. Please subscribe to the channel so we do not lose each other amidst the vast ocean of this life. Now, let everything go. Your consciousness is fading, fading like a wisp of sea mist, dissolving into the sea. 10, 9, 8. Feel the warmth spreading. 7, 6, 5. All sounds drift away. 4, 3, 2. Heart beating slowly, peacefully. 1, 0. Good night, my friend. See you again when the moon rises over the sea. I wish you beautiful dreams and a new beginning full of light tomorrow. Sleep well, sleep well, sleep deeply.